welcome back to Cyber Go-to-Market Girl Talk, the go-to podcast for females in cyber. My name is Elle and I work with pre-IPO security vendors to help them scale their go-to-market teams. And I'm super excited that after a very successful season 1 of the podcast, we are back with season 2. Our first season obviously was exploring how only circa 24% of cybersecurity is made up of women. And so this season, we are delving deeper into the statistics whereby circa less than 1% of security vendors have female CEO or founders. So what better way to kick things off than welcome my first guest, Tal Kollender, the CEO and co-founder of GYTPOL. So Tal, welcome and thank you for being my first guest on season 2.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here and thank you obviously for having me here.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. And I guess firstly, why don't you tell us a little bit about GYTPOL? And before you do, I'm going to preface by saying that I heard GYTPOL was, I think, founded on a napkin in a pub in Tel Aviv, which all the best ideas come out of a pub for sure.
Yeah, there are some people who still call me like the technology version of J.K. Rowling. So it's another way to say it. But yeah, I mean everything is I heard that the good things start on a piece of napkin. But one of the things that I really liked is solving problems and having the ability to write and to do the same things over and over again. And I know that the only alternative is manual or semi-automatically best efforts. I mean, these are the best efforts, like manual or semi-automatically script. And again, having the ability to find all of those device misconfiguration, that's exactly what we do. And obviously hardening on a device based on whatever benchmark. So we have the ability not only to tell you what is wrong, because as you know today, the cyber market is crowded of visibility solutions, but we don't want to be another visibility tool. We want to provide a fully solution from the detection, continuous detection, but also zero business disruption remediation. That's one of our, I would say, one of our most important things that we really want to give and to provide to customers, because today we know that providing them another visibility tool, they will have probably another alerting system, another job to do, another like items to deal with, lots of time, lots of efforts, and obviously it's eventually we all make mistakes, right? So it's like it's lots of human, lots of people are involved in this, and then we might find some problems by doing it. I would say like device by device to find misconfiguration after misconfiguration and fixing them without causing any issues to your organization. So we just came with a single platform that can not only detect, auto remediate, but again, causing zero disruption on the business. That's our power.
Nice. And you are, I have to say, very passionate when you speak about it, understandably. I mean, GYTPOL, I'm sure, is like your baby. And I think, what we're exploring in this podcast is that there aren't that many females who are CEOs or co-founding organizations. So I guess, did you, without putting words in your mouth, did you ever for a moment, pause and think or feel like, should I be starting a company, or did you have the full confidence just to go and run with this straight away?
So in my previous life, I used to be a hacker, and this is how GYTPOL today is definitely to think like an attacker. And this is the approach and the culture that I'm trying to bring. So when I found Gilad and Yaakov, that are both, they already did it. In 2011, their startup was acquired to VMware. When we were like together, they gave me the stage of being who I am, and they saw my passion and my and everything that they do. And I used to develop with them. Obviously, I'm not good as, as Gilad and Yaakov at R&D and writing code, but I did write some nice portion of it. So at the end of the day, when you really want to make sure that things are going to the next level, you need to work with a team that understands your strength and gives you the stage or the opportunity to be who you are. Obviously, they guided me the entire time to make less mistakes because they already had in their last experience. But this is where exactly when they said, okay, Tal, this is your time to shine and to grow, and we will lead you, we will support you behind, we will build everything with you. But when people see you, when you tell the story, people believe in it, people just want it, and continue do what you do the best. So I wasn't afraid. I was 20. Wow. I was 28. 28 when I met Gilad, and after this napkin, I came with this napkin to Gilad, and after my good friend Tal, who I wrote everything on napkin, he told me, Tal, it's a good idea. I will open I don't understand anything in what you just said, but I will help you in anything that you want. So until these days, he's his advisor. But Gilad just said, I'm with you 100%. I mean, whatever you want, I'm in. And then introduced me to Yaakov. And the most significant thing that happened is that when they enabled me to be who I am. And finally, because I used to be in the army, and when I started in a fighter pilot course, and then the computer units and everything. So everything, if you think about it, is like a golden cage, because there is so much that I can do. But being a CEO and having my own startup, and that is why every single person that we hire, we let them think, let's say, think out of the box. We let them be an entrepreneur within GYTPOL. And that's our culture. So yeah, I am a great advocate of what they did. And obviously, I'm super happy of where we are today.
So it sounds like they played a really important part in being an advocate for you and really being your champion. And I think that there's something in that, right? Is that this I guess it's not a job, but the job to be able to help empower women sits with both females and males. And it's not to not empower males. Let's be clear. We're not trying to take away from you men.
Not today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no.
So it sounds like they were incredibly empowering of you, and from my understanding, the dynamic that you have, you're essentially the leader of the pack of between yourself and the other founders. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And the three of you, I guess, probably were able to really impact that dynamic. It obviously wouldn't have just come from yourself, but by empowering you, were able to establish you as, right, I'm the leader of the pack here.
Yeah, they are both today over 50, but they just when they saw it, they just want to empower me. They just wanted to to make it go 10 times better than what they did before.
Yeah. It's a great story, and it's, I wish that we had more examples of you and GYTPOL. What do you believe are the most critical challenges that female CEOs and co-founders face in the security startup space?
Well, I will tell you something. When people ask me, who do I need to thank to? I mean, I said to all of the people at the beginning that didn't believe in me. So, and most of them are men, they are men dominated. They pretty much, they said, your idea won't, it's not only about as a female CEO, but it's all about, the concept of, hey, I mean, you are a woman, you are not techie, you are saley-ish, and then what is it with you and really the company? I mean, it's very hard to be dominate. I mean, yeah, we are not absolutely, well, it is a man-dominated world, but it's very hard to grab their attention. I mean, it took me years to be where I am today, not because of the experience and blah blah blah. No, but also to owe their trust, and to show them that I'm not another, I don't know if to say, but pretty face. Like usually there is the assumptions of women. So we are stronger than that, but we are also smarter than that. And that is something that I found. And by the way, Gilad and Yaakov, they couldn't care less. I mean, yeah, they could find another man, but when they saw that this team works and works great, and again, I do believe in this synergy. This synergy is amazing. So yeah, it took me some time to be where I am, but also when other men, it's very easy to fall into I would say like some inappropriate situations, and yeah, it's not always fun, but you need to think about, you need to be very minded or focus in your career and what you do, because if you will focus on the rest and what happened to you, you just won't be able to just you won't be able to focus on the real target.
You've got a real kind of like fire in your belly attitude, which I love. And I often find that people who have this type of demeanor and behaviors, there's a reason for it. Maybe they were brought up a certain way, or maybe they experienced something, or maybe they are just innately born with it. Do you think that this was something that you always had, or was there something that has driven you to have this mentality?
So I had the ability to sell, always to sell things that I really believe in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to, let's say I live in Tel Aviv, and let's say that if I do not believe in, I don't know, like living in I don't know, even in Paris, okay, I mean as much as someone can pay me to do it, although I never was on sale, never, I was never be able to convince someone to buy an apartment or something in Paris, because I believe in Tel Aviv. I believe in certain things that I can say them. I mean, and people will hear the passion, and people will understand that it's not only selling the product GYTPOL, but it's the approach, is what we do, is why they need it, is the whole concept of, hey, you know what attackers do today? Listen, you see me, maybe you don't believe it, but I used to be a hacker. I mean, like, the bad guys, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's so easy today to hack. So it's so now, believe me, that even the pretty face that you can meet on the street, they can be the worst in your, they can be the worst. I mean, without you to know. And yeah, I mean, let's say that I was always passionate about what I do, but now even more, because it is my baby, and now it's I really want everyone to see it, and like a proud mommy, I would say.
I think that's the best way of describing it for sure. As a woman in a leadership position within the startup world, are there any specific sort of strategies that you would recommend for other female entrepreneurs to effectively pitch their security startups and really differentiate themselves in what is a very male-dominated industry?
Be direct, but also don't lie, be who you are. I mean, your integrity is so important. Do not try to please someone just because they are whatever, some customer, some whatever potential thing that you want to meet. But more than that, as a woman, you should know that this industry is tough, and perception is reality in many cases. So when you build a reputation around you, when you have the good people around you to support you, to hire people that are better than you at what obviously you want, like in, I don't know, sales, marketing, R&D. This is so important because this will empower you, and don't be shy. Don't be shy to ask if you don't know. Like, and again, it is so important, those things and milestones that I've learned the entire time from being like solo contributor. I used to do it all, like sales engineer and product, post-sale R&D, pre-sale sales. And now when I need to share my baby with other people, like, okay, someone with the product, sales engineer, marketing, but now I choose them so carefully because I know that they will treat the baby better than I can do because I cannot wear so many hats. And at the end of the day, if you really want to go big, just have the right people next to you, but the right people. It is so important. I mean, not to have like only friends. Okay, friends are good to support you, but you really need the right people in order to do the right moves. And again, do not please people that you will regret afterwards. And I'm saying it, unfortunately, from experience, not from, like just a theoretical, I would say like ideation or something. It's And again, being a bootstrap, again, bootstrap, 40 employees, more than 10 million ARR, 91% gross margin. This is almost impossible in this world. And a woman, okay? Like on top of all of that. I mean, that is something that is so hard to achieve, so hard to get. And when people, now, today, yeah, I do get so many phone calls, but again, be very picky. Remember when you succeed, everyone wants to join you. When you fail, everyone is leaving you. So that's another thing, another tip that you need to have. If you pick the right people to be with you, partners is one of the most important things that you need to have. Then hire the key people next to you that will be your right hand. This is super important thing that I want everyone to know.
Yeah, there's a couple of key things there that you've mentioned. So the first one about having the right people around you, would you say that in your experience that anything that has helped is not only your network but perhaps a sense of mentorship from some of the people around you? Is that something that you have utilized or not necessarily?
I did, and I do. I do more these days. I do have a few people that I definitely, and again, always don't be, if you fail sometimes, it is okay. You go down in order to go up. Everything is cool as long as it's not, like massive thing. But even if it is a massive thing, again, as long as you have the right people, besides you, that is so important. But mentorship is also something really important that you need to have, because at the end of the day, no one, you can look at people from George Kurtz and others, they weren't as they are today. They couldn't even, let's say, think like 10 years ago that they will be where they are today. So this is when you build yourself, you need to talk to people who already been there and done that. And this is how you definitely take yourself every single time to the next step. If you would ask me, I don't know, when I started my startup, well, when do I find myself in 2, 3, 4 years? I would probably say, what do you mean? Of course, like someone is going to acquire us, but things happen, and it's not black or white, and that is why when you have the right people next to you, they always, they tell you, and then you want to listen. Obviously, you talk to a few of them, but you want to listen how to make yourself, how to be a better yourself, but also how to improve in so many different aspects. That mentorship is so important, is crucial. I believe in on each and every stage, especially when you are bootstrapped, when you don't really have like VC to talk to and their advisors and other things, that they bring you from nowhere. So yeah, I mean, if you would ask me, take the best lawyer that you find. I mean, don't be cheap. Take lawyer, take accountant and the financial that they will take care of everything. One of the lessons learned in GYTPOL. Yeah, I mean, so back to the mentorship, it is also something that we have learned. Yeah.
Do you have female mentors or male mentors or both?
I do have both.
You have both.
I do have both because the world is dominated by men and it's very hard to find only women. But I do go to people that really I adore in the way they did what they did. I mean, and how they build themselves. And this is something that I find it very, very, very interesting, like to see that, okay, now you built yourself in whatever in this way. Now I want to go in that way. Please help me because what you did, some of what you did is very, I would say, similar to what I want to do. So if you can just, like address it or help me to achieve it, that would be amazing. So that's pretty much what I'm looking to do. So sometimes I talk to some I would say like some friends that are male versus females, but again, it really depends because yeah, I mean, I would say like the more creative ways come from female or from women, and then yeah, but again, it's all about eventually something that you feel that you can relate.
Yeah, I think that brings it back to the fact that this isn't a woman versus man thing that we're talking about here. This is very much a collaboration, both females and males just empowering one another, but what we have seen historically is that it's mostly been males empowering males. So I just want to make sure that we're clear. I don't want people to think that I'm saying we need to put men down at all. That's definitely not the case, but about empowering each other for sure. One of the things I definitely wanted to highlight though, and huge congratulations to you, is obviously you won Woman Entrepreneur in the year 2023 from the United Cybersecurity Alliance. And I see that you've also been nominated as well for this year. So incredible accolades. I wonder, are there any particular qualities or behaviors that you believe you demonstrate that has, I guess, resulted in these particular awards coming your way?
Yeah, well, it is a very, very, very interesting question. It's one of the things that I will tell you is, again, many people, except of my family, blah blah blah, but many people didn't really believe in what I'm going to do because it was very. I would say that I was never, like a girl or then like a lady or whatever, blah blah blah, by the book. Okay, so and I saw that this industry needs more people or women that can sometimes affect even men and be more, be more passionate, but also to be technical, but to be able to speak, not like to have the courage to be who they are or who we are, and don't be afraid to say what you really want, because at the end of the day, when you have your own career, if you don't speak out loud, then sorry, but as a woman, your sound will be heard even less than men. Not in a bad way, but again, this is one of the things that I've learned, unfortunately. And when you create a circle of friends within the community, so I sell to CISOs, okay? When I know one CISO who tells another, and this is how our marketing used to work, or still working, but now until we hired a real marketing guy, but and then when they get to know you, so they get to talk to you, obviously good things, and then okay, so she needs to, not only, that she's okay, like she's smart and and she knows what she's doing, and her product is nice to have. It's not nice to have, but it's a must have. It started as a nice to have, but as the more you connect to people, the more they get to know you, and the more they know how to give you their advices of how to ball up in this industry, and what is it that you need to do, and where is it that you need to go in order you to say, in order you to actually to be seen. And that is something that I really, really liked, because this industry is very small and people talk all the time. And at the end of the day, everyone knows everything, okay? Like, obviously, in a different version of it, but people know and people speak. And you need to create a reputation. Your reputation can be mostly good reputation. She should be good reputation, and you need to build it on trust. You need to build it on happy customers. You need to build it on your I would say, like, the what you built, and the company and the culture and the DNA. And this is where you can be, I would say, you can, let's say that you're worth something in a good way. So I would say that those nomination, plus many more that are about to come, are thanks to, and about to declare soon, but they are thanks to word of mouth. And this is the bubble from the Zoom, and then the ability to see what you are, your integrity, and seriously who you are. And in terms that people talk about you, the more they talk about you, the more they get to know your name. This is how you feel more confidence. This is how you can be more happy with who you are, with what you built. I mean, and yeah, reputation in this market, is so important and so hard to get. I mean, hard to get.
Yeah, it is. It's a very small community, and everyone seems to know pretty much everyone. So it's important that you build a good reputation, you're authentic to yourself, and you don't burn bridges, right? Because it's a very small community. Something you'd mentioned earlier as well is the not just the people around you, but also the people that you've brought into GYTPOL, who you growing your teams. So what advice would you give to other female CEOs and co-founders when it comes to building very diverse and inclusive teams within their security startups to ensure you have the right people?
Sure. So first, as I said, make sure that you have the circle of people that you trust, so they can bring more people that they trust. So up until recently, we didn't even hire like an agency in order to have our people. So people in Israel is a small community, so usually R&D is very easy, like to get, very hard, because talent, I mean, is very hard to find, and then they are always everywhere. I mean, they are always in some place and they are happy, but when you get them, so usually it's a friend that brings a friend, and they are happy. And now you say, okay, now I have the R&D, I have someone that's from my country that, okay, I trust. Now let's go to other countries. Let's have other cultures, right? And this is where you need either to work very, very close to other friends from startups that maybe they can recommend you. Again, you need to understand what you can find as, if you can trust this person or not, if you can trust the one who recommended you to have this person. But also, at some point, you will need to grow in a way that you need to have an HR that needs to hire, and it is try and error. You need to understand that sometimes you will hire, and then after a few months, you will fire, because it's very hard to know. I mean, especially when you hire salespeople, think about it. What's their role? The role of the salespeople is to sell. So they sell themselves. They might sell themselves in the best way they can. And again, when they need to execute in your company to sell your product, they cannot do it. So in short, I said that I talk to the CISOs who recommend me to hire people, or I talk to partners who recommend me to hire some. And again, it is really important. Do not go to a CISO that will recommend you on R&D. Okay? It's not how it works. Go to the right person who will recommend you to work with the right person that he should recommend. For example, a CISO should recommend you to work with sales engineer, with I would say like the sales more or post-sale, but they cannot recommend you on product maybe, or maybe a little bit product, but R&D for sure not. So it's really, really important. Plus make sure that you hire the people that you want that will stay where you are. So a CEO should be very close to the financial guy, right? I mean, to the CFO, VP finance, it doesn't really matter. They should be close to the product. I mean, like to the whole entire product R&D and also to the sales. But again, sales, absolutely, I'm from Israel, so sales should be in the US. My sales in the US, but you should definitely be in a good relationship with them. Make sure that your culture that you worked so hard on will be there. I mean, no matter whatever money, yes money, no money from the outside that you bring, people eventually they stay for you. You need to be a leader. You should not be like a boss, or you should not be like whatever, like like the manager. No, you should be a leader.
Yeah, it's you mentioned salespeople. It's funny. I speak with salespeople all day, every day. Obviously, they're the people that I place, and once you've done it for a little while, you start to get acquainted with who is maybe just a really good seller at selling themselves and who actually has some substance behind their capabilities. And yeah, I think it is really important, especially if you're growing a team in a different country than your own, to be able to find those people that you can fully trust, who know what GYTPOL is, who you are, what you want to create, so that they recommend the right people. I think it's so important. But then also on the flip side, being a good leader is something that will keep people. People don't tend to leave companies, they leave people, right? So being
Correct.
a good leader is incredibly important as well. So yeah, makes sense. I guess as a sort of, as we start to close then on this particular episode, kind of finally, based on your expertise and experience, what overarching advice or words of encouragement would you offer to aspiring female entrepreneurs looking to make their mark in the cybersecurity space?
Don't be shy. When you want to build a company, or you want to excel at what you do, you want your voice to be heard, try to find a way to do it. Obviously in like in a good way to do it, but it's like you definitely don't keep secrets here in your tummy. To not do not feel that, okay, no, maybe if someone will speak to me, I will share with them. Be more proactive, and that is something that I really want more women to do. I understand, yeah, we say, yeah, women, we are waiting until we'll once we become mothers, so that's it, our career stops or slows down. It's not true. I mean, okay, yeah, it slows down a little bit, but whoever wants, they can definitely continue the pace after a few months. I mean, this is life. Okay, we all get it. And men, you cannot survive without us. So at the end of the day, you will be able to see what we do and how powerful it is. If you will, sometimes we need some space, sometimes we need to take it offline, we need to think about it. But again, if you have the right people to talk to, I mean, I want you not to be shy, and I want you to definitely speak and be passionate about it if you can. And this is a disadvantage and advantage. I mean, disadvantage because, yeah, everything is, like men dominated, but it is an advantage because it is men dominated. If we can take an advantage and say, hey, we are so little, if we can, so it means that everything that we can do can be 10 times bigger than what another one can do. And that is how I do not like to look on the, like the, on the, I would say the dark side. I always look on the bright side. And I always find the good things, even if the situation is bad, even if it is not as good as it is now. But if you can take advantage of each and every situation and scenario, just do it. I mean, understand. Obviously, do not. Definitely, you should be respectful. And do not do anything, like that will cause any bad things or comments on you. But again, be yourself and dare. Please dare.
I think that's some really great closing advice, and I'm sure that whoever is listening to this and watching will take a lot of inspiration from what you've achieved, and it just highlights that it is just so possible. It's very, very possible. You just have to have the right attitude. It's not easy, but anything that is worth something in life is never going to be easy to get. So yeah, thank you again so much for taking the time to join this episode. I know that there is a lot of great stuff in there that people are going to take from this, and hopefully we have some more examples of people like you that we start seeing come through in the cybersecurity space. But yeah, thank you. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this particular episode, and looking forward to doing the next one as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And obviously, I hope that I can help, at least, I would say, I won't say 1%, I hope 1%, but as many as possible, feel free to reach out if you need more motivation or more, I would say courage, to do the next step that you might consider to do. So feel free to reach out. Thank you again.
There you go. Well, you can. You've had the invite there to be able to reach out to Tal very kindly. So I'm sure take her up on that. But I will close this episode out. Thank you again all for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day.